Okay. Hello, everyone. Today I want to introduce to you Israel. He graduated from high school in 2024. We would love to know what made a difference in your high school journey and also in applying for a university. Israel, what were you struggling with when we met?
When we first met, I was struggling with math, especially when it came to geometry, because like I used to mean I had like trouble, like I guess you could say like picturing it and trying to like figure out, especially when it came like to angles and such. Like that was all like a new concept to me, and I had trouble with it.
Okay. And how were you guided? Well, hold on. Let's stop somewhere. In sixth grade, what was your state? Because I don't want to forget to include this, and this was like major. On your state exams, what was your grade in math, and what was your grade in language arts?
What was it like 3,000?
Advanced. You were advanced.
Oh,
Yeah, I've never seen another student achieve that. So, everyone, he was advanced at the end of sixth grade. Okay, in both language arts and math. And so I didn't want to forget this. Now, how were you guided by others to change things up in your life and end up graduating like you did?
uh, I guess you could say it started mostly with in middle school, with my one of my teachers. It was I think it was for history class. His name was Mr. Jackson. He was a tough teacher, but like I felt as though like what he told us. This is really important. He told us like whenever you like write essays, especially he actually told us specifically in high school, but I decided to take that later on in college as well. Like make it short, sweet, and simple. That's at least to me personally, and to him, like the best way you can write it. But like I just want to like make sure it's clear that like that's not always the best way, but like for most cases, at least in my experience, it was the best way. But like later on, you probably see in your future like when it comes to different teachers, professors, you'll see like you might want to teach a little bit just to like go to their standards.
Very, very good. And what were your grades because of that? Because of what Mr. Jackson taught you?
I did pretty good actually in high school when it came to like my honor classes with English and I think it was also history and also German class. I did pretty good with that.
Okay, very good. And how did the encouragement and guidance from others? Now, were there any other teachers that influenced you?
Yeah. Apart from the one in middle school, also was Mr. Rupert in high school. He was my physics teacher for both the normal physics and AP physics. I mean, he was pretty good as a teacher. He always got the topic down. But apart from like teaching the topic of physics, he also like to go around with other stuff like apart from science, more to do with like real life, put it that way. He taught us actually a lot about bank accounts, like 401ks, not bank, but basically almost about finances, put it that way.
And
Those,
how did you find his classes? How did they help you?
I found him like apart from being entertaining because he was a good teacher, like, he was very funny. But his classes, I really liked how like he would just like make sure like you understood the topic. Like he would go out of his way to like I guess it'd be entertainer, and I think that's really important to teacher. Like if you're just teaching like stuff out of a book, you'd be like, like that's boring. You
Exactly.
gotta make it a little bit fun.
So did that help the students to retain the material
Yes,
and
very much so.
understand the material better?
It really helped.
Exactly.
But apart from that, he also actually like he would stay in this room of physics and actually like tell us like in class like if you guys want to take future physics classes, this is what you're going to learn. And like at the end of the year when I took my AP class for physics, he he went out of his way and he told us, you know what, guys, you'll probably understand this later on. So I'm gonna just teach you right now. Give you like a quick one, a quick class about it. He told us a lot about like circuitry and electronics.
Wow.
And
Wow.
he wasn't supposed to. Like there's like a separate physics class, but he's like, you know what, you guys probably understand this. I'll try to get you prepared.
Wow. How interesting. Okay. What motivated you, Israel, to study mechanical engineering at a university currently?
What mostly motivated me, well, actually no, what I started it was this Cars movie. I think it was the second one actually. When I first watched it, like I was a little kid. I think it was like in the third grade or something, and like I the the way the cars, like I said, like the way they looked, it just really interested me. And later down the line, I got more influenced by other TV shows or animations of I guess say racing. I want to say that racing was what really got me interested in cars. And then later on, I started doing more research, like about different like companies and cars, like the history of them. And from there, went more to the engineering aspect. I was like, this is really interesting.
Hmm.
And if anyone's really interested in that, it's like for me, what really stuck in it was like how people would. I hate to say it, but I find it really interesting, like how people cheated in racing. It may sound bad, but in cheating, you see like amazing engineering, like the way people think to get around the rules.
Wow. Okay. Never thought of that. Okay. Was there anyone that influenced you into studying mechanical engineering?
It was mostly like with here my uncle. Like he used to. I mean, he still does. He works as a mechanic. Like back in middle school, I used to go out often just to, like see what he was doing. Check out any cool cars he had, and every once in a while, a cool car, so I just like go out there for a little while, see what he did. Check it out, and like just seeing like stuff like the engine. It's like it just really interested me. Like I don't know how to explain. Like it just
It is.
interests you.
It is. I totally agree. And coming from a mechanic's daughter, I totally agree. And you did the right thing. Getting involved and investigating. That was very, very good. Did you take any, Israel, did you take any honors classes or AVID classes in middle school?
In middle school, I did take an Avid class, and most of my classes were honors.
Okay.
With Avid, there were benefits. I like this. I see that like they helped me out when it came to like my wording. They taught me what to say, like to use fancy words. In fact, that's what I guess I coined the term because they said it first. Try to use fancy words in your writing. And while I say there's a lot of benefits to that, especially when it comes to like the scientific realm. Because you have to use fancy words there. Like words like stem from the Greek language, which is most of the scientific ones.
Okay. Did you take any honors classes in high school?
In high school, same thing. I took most honors and AP classes as well as I believe it was one dual enrollment class as well.
And how did you do in your honors classes in AP?
I did pretty good with the honors classes. It's just with some of the AP classes I didn't do so hot, which were the AP Calculus and AP History.
Okay. How did you feel when you started high school in 2020?
After Rona, actually no, during Rona, it was a little weird. You like suddenly transition to Zoom, instead of being like in person, and like at least for me when I was first starting with in high school, when I barely got into there, it just felt like kind of weird. Like you had to wake up early instead of like going to school, just like turn on your laptop, just stick there for class. And honestly, like me personally, I didn't really like it. I felt it like it wasn't as engaging. But I know I know some people like this, so it's quite subjective. Some people like it, some people don't. Just me personally, I didn't really like it that much.
Okay, thank you for sharing, your honesty. Were you excited or nervous to start high school, and why?
I was nervous like later on once the whole Rona situation like calmed down, because like going to a new place, you like trying to figure out like where all your classes are at, who the teachers are. I couldn't really talk to anyone who was there beforehand because we had to do everything through Zoom. I couldn't really get connected, like talk to people who had those teachers beforehand, see like how they were. So I was kind of going in like through the dark.
Blinded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How easy or hard was it to transition to online classes in 2020?
To transition?
Yeah.
Okay, so when it came to transitioning, I want to focus on two parts. It was harder when it came to like trying to learn the topic, but I say it was actually easier to like do most of the work on there. But I wouldn't really blame the teacher for that because they were just dropped in the situation. They had to make the best out of it, and sadly the best out of it was just mostly using worksheets. It got the job done, but they could have done more.
Okay, very good. What grade were you in when you started AP classes?
I was in my junior year when I started AP classes.
Okay, and do you remember what AP classes you took?
If memory serves correctly, I believe the first one I ever took was my AP computer science class.
Okay.
That one I really enjoyed it. In fact, I actually won, I think, like a little like tournament we had, like trying to like basically just like code an app.
Wow. And do you remember any other ones?
It was just I yeah, because it was junior year. I only did one, just like I got just like test out the waters to see
Okay.
how AP classes were like.
Okay. Did you take any others?
Uh, I did take us, but like that was during my senior year.
Okay. And what classes did you take in your senior year? AP classes.
AP oh wait, no, my bad. I took AP history in junior year, and then in senior year I took AP literature, AP calculus, AP physics. What's the other one? I took another. I forgot the name of it.
Okay.
Those are the important ones.
Okay. Very, very good. Did you receive college credit for taking AP classes?
I did receive college credit. I know specifically I did pass the test for the AP computer science one.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for that one, I really recommend you guys take that one because that was like I don't want to say like stupid easy, but like I feel as though even if you don't take the class, you could probably figure out the test.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the advice. Did you feel the AP classes that you took were easy or hard? You kind of said something already.
They were pretty okay. Look, apart from the computer science, they were pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's just like you kind of have to figure out which ones you want to do. You know, if you're up for the challenge, screw it, take all of them if you want.
Okay. Did you pass the AP exams?
I did not pass all of them. In fact, I failed with my AP calculus and AP history.
Okay. Did you? Do you want to talk here about why you had trouble with them?
Yeah. I say when it came to the AP calculus, it was mostly my undoing because I had like this really bad mindset back then where like I thought it was I don't want to say easy, but I felt as though like I could just like steamroll through it without paying too much attention, and that was clearly my mistake. I shouldn't have taken it so lightly. I will admit that. But when it came to AP history, that was a little different. That one I just feel because honestly I just found it way too difficult to remember every single little detail.
Okay.
So for that one, like you really have to study a lot, like a lot. You have to like
take lots of notes.
I wouldn't say take lots of notes because that's really counterproductive because like that's when you put too much information. But like at least try to, if you make notes, try to make it so like it's just the important like big events.
Okay.
And from there you can kind of just piece together the little small details from that.
Oh, okay. Good advice. Okay. Okie dokie. Did you take any AVID classes in high school?
In high school, I didn't take any other classes, mostly because I felt they weren't really as necessary, and I already took some in middle school, and I felt as though I already got like most of the benefits from it.
Okay. Did you participate in any other college classes in high school?
Yeah, I think I mentioned this earlier. I did participate in dual enrollment classes. It was only one, but it was because it was only the offer there.
Okay. And how did you do?
I did pretty well. I'd say it was probably one of the easiest ones, luckily for me.
Okay. Were there any classes that you struggled with in high school? And why did you struggle? And I think you basically just covered it.
Apart from the AP history and calc, it was AP literature. That one's really hard. Like you have to read all the books.
Okay. Okay. And so and you struggled with them because you didn't read all the books?
No, I did read all of them, but like I just had a lot of trouble with like trying to remember every little detail because like
Okay.
When it came to literature, like it's not just like remembering like the story, it's also remembering the characters as well. Like that's and like some stories like they have a lot of characters and it's kind of hard to remember them.
Okay. Did you graduate from high school in 2024?
I did graduate in 2024. Yeah.
Okay. What was your weighted GPA when you graduated?
Weighted, it was a 4.2.
And what was your unweighted GPA when you graduated?
Unweighted, it was a 3.6.
Okay. Did you graduate high school with honors?
Yeah, with honors, he gives a few chords along with that.
And how did you feel when you achieved this?
I feel mostly surprised and proud at the same time, mostly because when it came to the chords, they didn't really let us know until like a week beforehand. They just kind of sprang out like, "Oh wow, congrats, you got chords, yay!"
Would you do us a favor and put the chords around your neck, and then show at the end, show us the one that meant the most to you?
Yeah, mostly just these ones. Let me pull them out real quick. Got the blue one.
So some high schools give chords, like you're seeing, and some give stoles. So as you can see, he's going to show you 4 of them.
And then at least the one I say the main one was probably this one, the red and the yellow one.
And do you remember what it represented?
Yeah, it represented I think for the top of I believe the top 50 of the whole basically the whole class for 2024.
So of the graduates
Yeah, the
from your
graduates.
high school, you were in the top 50, with GPA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was in the top 50 students. So that was fantastic. Okay, so what would you have done differently before high school or during high school?
When it came to high school, I feel as though I should just mostly just change my mindset from classes because I kept going on this assumption that I I could just learn everything breezily, but when it came to Epic-Calc down it kind of shot me in the face, it just told me nah, you can't do it we just steamroll it. You have to ask a lot more questions, take a lot more not a lot more notes, but put more detail in your notes,
Thank you for being honest. Is there anything else that you would like to add? Did we forget anything?
Oh yeah, when it comes to choosing your college, don't just focus on the prestige. That's important as well, but you should try to focus on what programs they have in there that can help you out, especially when it comes to going hands on, with the Cal Polys, both the one here in Pomona and the one in San Luis Obispo. Is that one? Yeah, I think they both have SA8 teams, which is forming a student. Just a bunch of students not even from mechanical engineering, but from also different departments. Business majors. I believe also for media, all that. It's not just engineering. There's a lot more that goes on in racing. It's a lot more.
And what do they do on those teams?
For that, when it comes to engineering, they mostly just design the car and actually weld it together. Put in the engine, make the chassis.
Wow.
Do suspension work. But apart from the work, they also need people who can negotiate. Business people who can get sponsors. That's really important as well.
Okay, wow, that's interesting information. So, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe so we can share more interesting and inspiring stories. Leave a like, share with your friends and family, and if you know of anyone with an inspiring high school to college or high school to university story, please leave a message in the comment section. Thank you.